President of Kazakhstan, K.Tokayev, has met with participants of the Presidential Youth Staff Reserve. President Tokayev has recalled that the initiative to create the reserve was one of the main points of his electoral program. The president emphasized that Kazakhstan needs a new, efficient and fair model of governance which meets demands of the society. The main goal of all introductions is aimed at better communication with citizens. In other words, it's a service model of state activities. Speaking to members of the Youth Staff Reserve, President Tokayev highlighted that he expects from each participant new ideas and productive work that will give a new impetus to Kazakhstan's development. This year, the head of state announced that the 100 participants will be appointed to the managerial positions. He also plans to take full advantage of the potential of the Staff Reserve. The work of forming the Staff Reserve will be continued, told Kassym-Jomart Tokayev.
За годы независимости под руководством первого президента Елбасы Нурсултана Абишевича Назарбаева мы выстроили систему.
During the years of Kazakhstan's independence, under the leadership of the first president Nursultan Nazarbayev, we have built a public administration system that has repeatedly proved its effectiveness in the most difficult conditions. However, the nature of today's challenges requires further action. The main law of the viability of any system is continuous development and improvement. In this regard, leading technology companies which achieve success through introducing advanced management systems set a good example. Their leadership isn't based on the use of technology, but on the ability to help every team member to reveal his or her potential and skills. The same principles should be applied in the public administration system.
Профессиональные качества каждого отдельного члена команды. Эти же принципы должны быть востребованы и в системе государственного управления.
Kazakhstan is increasing the number of food products for export. Two enterprises in Almaty region strengthen this business. The meat processing factory opened last autumn have exported its first batch of sausages and premium first-class meat to foreign markets. The enterprise can process up to 5,000 tons of meat per year. There are a slaughterhouse, a boning hall and a sausage shop in the factory as well. Almost 5,000 heads of the Angus breed are fattening. Specialists noted that the breeding features of Angus allow high-quality marbled meat within a short period of time. We feed them 2 times a day. Their food contains silage. The daily weight gain is nearly 2.5 kilograms. In the coming year, the number of bulls will be increased to 10,000. By 2021, another feed yard for 15,000 heads of cattle will be opened. A fish farm in the Usharal city in Alakol district produces 3 tons of zander fillet per day. The farm operates in compliance with European standards and product certification requirements. Raw materials undergo all the necessary processing stages. The main work season for us starts after the ban period ends. From June until New Year, we work non-stop stocking up raw materials. The main volume of production is up to 3 tons of fillet per day. Raw materials come from eastern Kazakhstan. Zander is caught in Zaysan Lake, while the fish population will be replenished in Alakol. Long-term plans are expected in the enterprise. We don't work only during the fish spawning season. The rest of the time we work. We decided to build another processing factory for other types of fish, such as perch, carp, crucian carp and bream. Bone meal is also produced at the enterprise. The combined feed will be produced from the meal. Tajikistan plans to develop fish farms. The state provides the full support to enterprises that are interested to be part of the business. Since last August, the government has introduced an exemption to payment of value-added tax, as well as customs duties on import of animal feed. Experts said that the improved production of the feed base will allow stabilizing the market and reducing the final cost for customers. Expenses that are being spent for fish need to be reduced. In order to do that, it is necessary to come to agreement with large foreign feed producers. Experts are confident that it's possible to improve such a production in Tajikistan. The fish is fed with normal feed. Balanced composition of the fish feed is usually press, cake, bean flour, bran, minerals, and some animal products. These feeds are normal for carp, silver carp, grass carp, and trout. Currently, the exported fish is cheaper than the local fish in Kazakhstan. The price is lower because the fishes that are imported are frozen instead of live. However, consumers prefer to purchase the local product given its freshness. Kyrgyz experts said that the high-quality work of the veterinary system is an evidence of Kyrgyzstan's successful membership in the Eurasian Economic Union. Every district and city department of the State Inspectorate for Veterinary and Phytosanitary Safety and 2 laboratories in Bishkek and Osh that comply with the national and international standards are equipped with 54 machines. The machines carry out duties of inspectors at a high level. We need them for monitoring and identification purposes. We didn't have the special equipment.
Стопроцентно мы обеспечены специальными автотранспортными средствами, и наша ветеринарная система.
We're fully equipped with special vehicles. The veterinary system is portable. The EAEU member states recognize the equivalence of our veterinary system. The veterinary control system of the Kyrgyz Republic complies with the EAEU standards and requirements.
Соответствует стандартам и требованиям и эквивалентны системам стран-членов Евразии.
Today, more than 90 enterprises in Kyrgyzstan have the right to export their products to the EAEU countries. The vast majority specialize in agricultural products. Experts highlighted that this year 10 additional enterprises will be included in the register. In total, in 2019, the volume of exports has increased, including the volumes of milk, meat and fish products. Women's contribution to Kazakhstan's GDP is estimated at 40%. Experts said that the amount of women entrepreneurs in the country is increasing. More than a third of the total number of domestic entrepreneurs is women. The share of the economically active state population reaches nearly 50%.
На сегодняшний день из субъектов предпринимательства это свыше 1,5 миллионов.
Today, women own more than 1,564,800 business entities. If we take the economical segment, most of the women work in service sector. 52% of the women work in trade sector, 64% in the service sector, and another 64% in medicine. Only 5% of the women work in industrial sector, and this is an indicator that should grow. Atameken is raising awareness about the topic of expanding the women's involvement in the manufacturing industry.
Вопрос о более широком вовлечении женщин в обрабатывающую отрасль.
For this purpose, the unique Altın Oymak contest for women entrepreneurs was held last year for the first time in Kazakhstan. It was organized by the Atameken National Chamber in partnership with the Fund for Supporting Women Entrepreneurship in the country. Over 280 Kazakh designers from all over the country took part in the contest. Within the project, many of them successfully expanded their production and found potential business partners.
Этот конкурс будет стимулировать, наверное, в первую очередь использование национальных.
First of all, this contest will stimulate the use of patterns of national identity in everyday clothing, sportswear and in children's clothing as well as in home items that include bedding, napkins and cutlery. The most surprising is that a year-long contest has triggered this entire industry and other related sectors. We involved the manufacturing industry, specifically the furniture industry. As a result, masters of ceramics and craftswomen have joined us.
К нам производители керамики, к нам подключились ремесленники.
Ethnic design has become a worldwide trend in the fashion industry. During the meeting in the capital, the chairperson of the Designers Union of Eurasia told that Kazakh national designers have won international competitions, which shows that this area is trending now. Yermek Asılhanov said that the ethnic style is famous today, since it is a mixture of ornaments with modern style patterns.
қазір біз бір программа бағдарламамен жұмыс істеп жатырмыз.
First of all, the ethnic design has its own place in the fashion industry, which is developing. The ethnic style includes eco-design. The Kazakh design and handicraft products are made from environmentally friendly materials. Meanwhile, we are working on one project. What kind of food did our ancestors Turkic and Saka people eat? We see that they had wooden, bone and leather dishes. We were surprised. We are restoring them now. Our goal is not to showcase the Kazakh design, but to find out about Kazakh spiritual and creative values through the Kazakh design and present them to the world.
және шығармашылық жетістіктерін былайша айтқанда әлемге паш ету.
Abai Qananbayulu's heritage is of great importance for the entire Turkic nations. Turkish scholars said that the Kazakh educator has left unique developments to the next generation. Today, his developments are studied at the Abai school in Istanbul. The educational institution was opened by Nursultan Nazarbayev in 2003. More than 500 students study there.
Okulumuz 2003 yılında Kazlıçeşme Abai.
The Abai Qananbayulu School opened its doors to everyone 16 years ago. Most of the residents of the Zeytinburnu neighborhood in Istanbul are representatives of Kazakh diaspora. So 40% of our students are Kazakhs. They read and retell the works of Abai and other Kazakh writers and poets. We organize many events in order to maintain communication between nations and generations. The collection of literary works and the famous words of edification of the great philosopher have been published in Turkish. The scholars said that one of the main goals is to popularize Abai's heritage in higher educational institutions in Turkey.
Abai Kazak kültürünün büyük hazinesi.
Abai is a treasure of Kazakh and Turkic cultures. We support the idea of the President of Kazakhstan that Abai should be promoted as a national brand. The country is recognized for its heroes and great people. Abai is a figure that represents the nation and culture of Kazakhstan.
Kazak kültürünün
Abai Qananbayev atamızın sadece Kazakistan'da değil aynı zamanda Türkiye.
One of the most important aspects in Abai's works is his philosophy and special worldview on life. Reading his works, one can acquire a special perception of the world and find answers to many questions. Students of our universities should study Abai. The works of the great educator should be included in the programs such as Turkology, literature and philosophy.
Olabilmesi için özellikle günümüzdeki bilgi.
The Abai monument in Turkey, erected 16 years ago, is another symbol of honor and respect paid to the great Kazakh educator. This year, the Kazakh embassy in Turkey plans to carry out the monument's restoration. Weightlifting trainer in Karagandy, Ivan Snegurov, won the 100 New Faces of Kazakhstan project. He trains leading athletes who represent Kazakhstan at Republican and international competitions. More than 1,500 people have taken part in the third stage of the 100 New Faces of Kazakhstan project. The trainer invests his time and money in us. He spends more time with us than with his family. He always tells us to stay human no matter what. I'm proud of my trainer. I'm glad that he has become one of the 32 participants. I've been watching all these TV programs.
Я считаю, что можно развить любые качества в любом спортсмене.
I believe that a sportsman can learn many qualities from his or her childhood. The weightlifting makes a man tough, since this type of sports is related to work with metal. It can be compared with metallurgists who harden the steel. Moreover, the weightlifting helps to gain muscle mass.
Во-вторых, мышечная масса, здоровье опять-таки.
Ivan Snegurov is from the generation of weightlifters. He recalls two landmark events in his career. First, he was 28 when he received a title of honored trainer. The second one was when his student won the world championship in weightlifting. This is the highest award for the trainer, says Ivan. Today, Ivan is training the weightlifters to the Asian Youth and Junior Weightlifting Championship, which will take place in Tashkent this February.